So tonight is the night before fourth day, which is a Wednesday, which will be the 26th of Safar, 1447, and which will be the 20th of August, 2025. We're still in the midst of summer here in St. Louis, Missouri, although tonight, alhamdulillah, it's cooled down. But yeah, just some further thoughts about air conditioning. So one thing about air conditioning is that it's not natural. It removes humans from the evolutionary context. And what is meant by evolutionary context? Evolutionary context means the natural way, or the natural conditions which our ancestors lived in. We humans developed in the context of nature, and I say the word evolution not so as to alarm anyone with a more religious viewpoint on human origins, but just to emphasize the point that we human beings have developed over time, from whichever beginning you perceive, but we've basically we've lived on this planet through stages and stages, and our ancestors have come through a lot to get for us to get to where we are now. And when you look at the context that the human creature, the human species, and the human organism has survived in all these thousands of generations or more, what you see is that we've lived in the context of nature, and we've lived in the context of natural forces, and that is the context that is the norm for us. And we've earned our place on this planet, so to speak, or Allah has shaped us to fit in a certain place on this planet. We have come to fit in the context of nature. But technology removes us from that context, and we're now exposed to conditions and to forces and to circumstances that our organism, our species, has not faced before. And we don't exactly know what are the full implications of that. How do these things impact the human being, really? And it's only been the past few generations that we've been exposed to, for example, 24-hour lighting, or temperature-controlled interiors, or super speed travel in automobiles and planes and stuff. We don't actually know what these things do to us physiologically and psychologically quite yet, or refrigerated food for that matter, or chemical hygiene products, or anything else. And and I'm sure there's a lot of research that can be done in this regard, but who's going to be doing that research anyways? It wouldn't be people who want to expose that this is harmful. Where's the money going, and who's funding the research? Obviously, the corporations wouldn't want any truth to come to light, any evidence to come to light about the harm and detriment of the things that they foist upon us in this modern lifestyle. But regardless of the presence or absence of scientific data, I think just through reason you can see that the impact that these things have on the human organism is unprecedented. We haven't seen this before. No human generation has faced what we are facing now, and air conditioning is just one case in point. And again, you can look at all of the different technologies and go in depth into each and every one of them. But in this regard, as far as air conditioning goes, it's not natural for us to be living in air-conditioned environments, interior spaces, temperature-controlled interior spaces. Our ancestors lived outdoors, and even when they lived indoors, it's not like they could, go to the thermostat and switch it to whatever temperature they wanted. If they wanted it to be cool inside when it was hot outside, they had to engineer their homes in such a way, their interior spaces in such a way. And if they wanted it to be warm inside when it was cold outside, then, they had to provide some way of warming the interior. But that itself wasn't just about turning a knob or pressing a button. And even then, for the most part, people still had to go outside. People nowadays, we take for granted that our lives are indoors. But in the old days, our ancestors, even the indoor types, people who had indoor jobs and stuff like that, even they had to go outside. Much more than any one of us in this modern time typically has to. So that's all to say that us living in temperature-controlled interiors day in, day out for the vast majority of our waking and sleeping hours, that's not natural. And it's a removal from the original evolutionary context in which the human organism and our ancestors, the human species, has lived in. And definitely this has an impact on our health and our well-being. And living in the heat or being exposed to the natural heat, this definitely does something to our bodies. Your body has to adjust. It has to maintain homeostasis. It has to sweat. It has to regulate itself, its internal, external temperature. And that's what the body is good at. And the body has been doing that for thousands of generations. That is our evolutionary context. And what do you think happens to an organism when you remove it from its evolutionary context? Obviously, the Arabic word that I would use for this term evolutionary context is Fiṭraʼ. So basically, when you remove an organism from its Fiṭraʼ, you're going to see imbalances of various kinds. And air conditioning is just one of the lifestyle changes of modernity that have removed us from our Fiṭraʼ, from our evolutionary context. And just look at humanity, look at humans, look at our health issues, look at our psychological states, look at just various aspects of our lives nowadays that are out of balance and are out of sync with what should be right. And definitely these technologies are playing a role in that, and air conditioning is one of them. So I do encourage people to turn off their air conditioning. Let their houses be warm inside, and go outside more. Spend more time outside. Experience the natural temperatures. Experience the rise and fall of temperatures throughout the day. That's part of your homeostasis. That's part of your cycle, your rhythm. You're supposed to feel that. You're supposed to wake up and it's a certain temperature, and the day goes on a certain temperature, and then at the end of the day it cools down again. This is natural. Let your body surf the waves of nature, and your body will become sculpted. Your system will become sculpted by that, and you'll be healthy, and you'll be happier. Look what it does to you in terms of your mood. Look at what it does to you in terms of your immune system, and all these things. And again, I'm sure there's tons of research that can be done on this matter, but even in the absence of research, you can see just through reason that the benefits would be limitless and unfathomable if only we would take steps away from this artificial lifestyle and back to the natural lifestyle that our bodies are used to, that our organism is used to. Let your body return to its evolutionary context. Let your body and your mind and your soul return to its fitrah, to its natural origins, its original evolutionary context. So yeah, that's just a little bit about about air conditioning. There are other things to say about air conditioning through different angles, but that's just something there. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.